Hey, what's up, North County? Hey, welcome back to another episode of The Locker Room. And we are in the Crow's Nest here with Coach Don Crow from Templeton Eagles. Coach?
Good to see you, Randy.
Yes,
Glad
sir.
to have you here.
So last week, tell me a little bit about the game.
We should have been ahead at halftime more than we were. We made some mistakes in the first half. We had our chances. You know, we're a young football team. Like I said last week, we're a very young football team, and we're having some growing pains. But you know, our high end, you know, our potential is pretty good. I mean, I think we can be really good. We just got to keep getting better and better and better. And it's that daily, I guess, grind, as you call it. You know, eliminate mistakes, play better. You know, play for the guy next to you. Those basic football acronyms. But we just have to get better and better and better and better at what we do.
Well, I mean, collectively through the whole game, I mean, it was a close game.
Oh yeah,
2017.
Yeah, 2017. We had the ball at the end, and you know, we had our chances. We just didn't convert a couple times down in the red zone, and you know, with those things we can clean up.
Yeah.
The good news is, you know, you can see the potential in our kids. You know, we just have to keep coaching them, and we have to remember as coaches too that on Friday night we started one guy that ever started a varsity football game until this year.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Who was that?
It was Drake Sandoval. He was the only one that last Friday was the only returning starter for us. And so we're really new.
Wow.
And so we're getting there. I mean, you know, we're getting there.
And, you know, at the beginning of the season, I mean, this is what it's for. It's not league, so you can work out some of the cobwebs.
True.
You know, work some kids into positions and stuff like that.
We moved some kids around this week. We're going to try some different combinations. So we get Weston Patch back, so he'll be able to play tonight some. And he'd been out since the first day of practice. He tweaked his knee a little bit the very first day we had practice back in August. So we get him back, so that'll help because he's an experienced offensive lineman, so that'll help us a lot.
And it was Monarch, right? That's who we
Monachi.
played? Monachi. I can't pronounce that.
I guess it's in Porterville, and up in the mountains above Porterville up there's a meadow where people go hunt and fish and stuff, and it's called, especially fishing, it's called Monachi Meadow.
Okay.
And I've learned this from the Tannehills. Yeah, because that's where they go fishing. So that's why I guess where they named the school after that.
Okay. Well, I mean, they had some pretty big size.
Yeah, their nose guard and their left tackle were really good size and good players. You know, their running back number one, Baxter's a good player. And, you know, so we had to play well, and we played well in spurts. I mean, really well in spurts. But we just have to be that consistent down after down after down with execution.
Yeah, and you had some big plays. You had some good run backs. You had some good, you know, kickoff returns.
Right.
But like I said, it was so quick, and it was such a close game. I mean, it was one of those games.
You know, and then we gave up a long touchdown, and then we scored on a pretty long pass, and yeah, it was a little bit back and forth, and you know, it's just when you go back and watch the film, like we do, so super critical. You know, we throw a pass, we catch it, we fell down. Our play probably could have been an easy first down or touchdown. We threw a ball that was open for a touchdown, we dropped it. Then we had a first down on the 4-yard line going in right before half, and we fumbled. So there's, you know, all those things can be fixable. Mm-hmm. All of that stuff is very fixable. So that's good. It's fixable things. It's not like, well, they lined up and just, you know, beat the tar out of us. That's not what happened. So there's some things we can fix to get better.
Do you have any kids last week that you recognize that stepped up that you were hoping that would?
Yeah, you know, it's probably one of the kids and he's really stepped up the first 2 games of the year has been Tyler Cunningham, has been really good. And then Mark Mitchell played really well on last Friday. He's because he missed his whole sophomore year with a broken collarbone, and he was a backup for us last year. So he played really well. So we're getting better. You know, we're finding those pieces of guys that are really getting better.
What is your speech like after the game of something like that?
Well, our speech Friday night was, you know, we have to learn as a collective group to care enough to correct the mistakes. And that comes from me on down. Mm-hmm. You know, we have to understand where we're at, but we have to care enough and want it bad enough to make sure we change that and correct them. And that was my speech to the kids. Okay, when you come Monday, you're going to see on film, you're going to see some mistakes. And if we correct them, then we're learning, and that's great. You know, so you have to bring that mindset that I'm going to make from a coach, player, everybody, I'm going to make myself better so I make the team better. And that was our speech Friday night. It was, when we come watch film, watch it with a critical eye to make you better. Make sure you're stepping with the correct foot. Make sure your eyes are in the right place. Make sure you're in the right alignment and those things. So that's what we were trying to teach kids both. Mistakes are going to happen, but don't make mental mistakes where you step the wrong way or your eyes are in the wrong place. We got to correct those things.
Right. Coach, have you, or maybe it's too early in the season to recognize like your leaders out there, the ones that.
Well, yeah, pretty much our leader's been since January is Mark Mitchell. I mean, he took that on himself. It wasn't something we didn't bequeath it to him. He did it. And he's in his personality, he's the FFA president, he's a regional officer, he's got that personality about him that he is a leader, and he's doing a really good job. And then our quarterbacks, are doing a good job. But yeah, there's different kinds of leaders. Like I remember I always go back to when Tyler Gray played here. Tyler Gray didn't want to say 3 words. He does, he's different now. I mean, he talks more now because he's the sheriff, but has to. But when he was here, the first year he was a sophomore, I told kids, just follow his work ethic. He's a leader by example. You have other guys that lead by vocal. So your kids have to find who their leader is a little bit, and they kind of naturally come out. But yeah, Mark's been doing a really good job for us.
Very awesome. So we've had a pretty hot week preparing for Coalinga, right?
It's crazy.
So I mean, they're already used to this kind of heat.
Well, they've had I talked to their coach yesterday because I felt compelled to reach out because of the fire. That fire that's north of us is about
fire.
Yeah, what's called the boom. It's not very far from their school, and their town's been inundated with fire trucks and stuff. And he said there's a whole battalion right outside of town that they're sending the people into the harm's way there. And he said that they've had a complete disruption in their practice. Like they had to practice indoors a couple days because of the smoke and stuff. So they've been a little off their kilter, and we haven't had a normal practice time this week. Monday we went in the morning because it was a holiday, and we do that because of the heat. And Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday we've had to delay practice some every day. Like last night we went at 6:30 just so we could practice because we were in what they call the black range at our normal time, which means no
Coach,
practice.
Tell me about that. So it's about the heat in the field and the kids out there, right?
Right. Okay. So we have this little orange thermometer. It's about that big.
Like physically at the thermometer.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have to put it on our practice field, and it's called a wet bulb globe thermometer, and it measures wind speed, humidity, temperature, all these different factors. And then it gives us a number. And we, the North Tascadero, Paso, and us all fall in category 1, which is Morro Bay. They put the whole county together. Morro Bay, Rio Grande, Napomo, we're all category 1. Well, like the Valley's category 3, so they can practice when it's 6 degrees higher on that thing than us.
Huh.
So we had to, so yesterday up until 5:20, we were completely shut down. We couldn't go on the field. That thing was what I was reading, and it reads less than the actual temperature for us because of our wind and very little humidity.
Right.
So like yesterday when it was 104, 105, that thing was reading 88, 89. But our level, we have to be below 86 before we can even step outside.
Now, who mandates that?
State. Nope.
The state
legislature.
Really?
The CIF got told by the state. It's called Assembly Bill 1535. Newsom signed it, and here you go. It was completely done, and then the CIF had no remorse. They had to adopt it, so everybody's in the middle of it. And what they didn't do was, and I understand why it was done. Don't get me wrong. I understand why when it's hot and you got to take care of the kids, and nobody's questioning take care of the kids. Nobody is, but they did the categories. They didn't take into account where we actually are. They just said, oh, San Luis County, you're by the beach, we're category 1.
Right, yeah, we're not all in
and everybody knows our weather, Morro Bay's weather, is a little different in August, right? Like 30 degrees and 40 degrees. They didn't put there's no appeal process in it. There's no process for us to change. So we have been, and then San Ynez was in the same boat. They're lumped in with Lompoc, and that's way different weather.
Right.
So we had this meeting, and one of the CIF reps came over, and he said the same thing. He goes, there's no mechanism to change you guys built in this thing. So he goes, so what they suggest is write down all your temperatures every day and compared to the other areas that have the similar high temperatures as you do. Well, so we've been doing that, but they haven't changed us yet.
And this is all new, implemented
all
this
brand
year.
New, all brand new.
And this is across the board, across the state?
Whole state.
Wow.
So like Fresno's a category 3, so they can practice and play where it's way warmer than we can. So if we go over there, like Atascado's going over there tonight, their temperature to play is different than ours.
That's amazing.
Oh, and that's where I understand that if you're by the beach, it's different, but that's not our summer.
Right.
At all. So, and here, that was, like I said, that's the problem. The CIF guy said there was no mechanism put into this to appeal and say, hey, that's not our temperature. We can show you historically data how hot it is here in August and September. Especially, we're always warm. We're always in the hundreds, high 90s.
Right, that's normal.
That's normal for us.
Right.
And our kids are used to it. They do it every day. Look at any kid that's been at the fair knows it's hot.
Sure.
Right? So that's kind of, we're trying to figure out how we can, and Paso and Itasca and us are all in it together. We're battling it together. And I'm sure there's other schools that take, like San Ynez, but just in our area, those 4 are trying to figure out how do we actually get this changed and get us moved to the proper category. And then I have no complaint with it if we're in the proper category.
So Coach, what happens with that? Like say take today, it's been 100, 100,
Well, they can cancel our JV game. They could cancel.
Okay.
But
who's gonna say that? Who's gonna give that?
Our Joe Farley and Archie.
So they're the ones
because it has a very set guideline.
Okay.
I mean, it's got, we have this paper that says green, yellow, orange, red, black. Black means we're done. And it has exact down to the temp, the temperature has to be 86.1 and you're done. On that thermometer now it's not air temperature, you guys, because it does. So yesterday, like I said, when it was at 5:20, it was still well over 100 here. That thing was reading like 88. By 6:30, it was reading 81.8. And in 70 minutes, it drops almost 7 degrees.
So whether you said it was 100, but it was at 80.
Yeah,
so
it was because it was taking into effect the wind.
Practice.
Yeah, we could start. So we got to practice last night, but we had to wait till 6:30.
So JV game typically 4:30, so it might be.
It's already bumped back to 5:30.
It's already back to 5:30.
The JV started 5:30.
5:30. Okay.
And then we're at 7:30. Already moved back to 7:30, depending on what happens with that JV game. But right now the JV game starts at 5:30, and because we had to, we're trying to get those kids to play.
Right.
And it's we could do, if you could bring Coach Loney and Coach Carroll and our ADs from our 3 schools and Coach McClurg from San Ynez, we could do a whole show on this.
Let's do it.
Because we've been meeting about it and talking about it, and like yesterday, even San Luis High couldn't practice till later because it was 100 degrees in San Luis yesterday. So San Luis was out.
Wow.
But that's super unusual for them.
Right. Yeah.
But for us, that's an everyday. I said, from middle of July till the middle of September, we'll have 20 days over 100 or more. Mm-hmm. And so that's where we're at. And like I said, it was done with all the right intentions.
Sure.
We wanted to protect the kids, and we all understand that. But we're in the wrong category, and there's no way for us. We're trying to get out of it, and they said, "Well, document all this stuff." So I go, "How long do we need to document it?" We've been at it for a month and a half now, saying it's wrong. I mean, we're in the wrong category. I'm not saying the readings are wrong. I'm saying we need to be bumped in the category that fits our area.
Well,
sorry to get on my soapbox.
But that's good information.
Well, people need to know.
Right.
They're going, well, why is your game being delayed? Why is your game being canceled? Why was practice canceled? And some of our parents are starting to get a little upset about it because it happens quickly.
Right, and like I said, Coach, and information is great for everybody.
Right.
Again, when I heard this, I thought it was coming down from the coaches that it was too hot, and my boys were, they played in that 110 degree weather. They're like, what?
Yeah, see, I think what they did is they wanted to take it out of the coach's hands. So, but I'm like, I've been doing this a long time, and I know how to take care of the kids.
Sure.
We have water out. I call it free water. We have those big water machines. They can go get water anytime they want, and we move it around. We drag that thing all over the field, so it's close to where we're. If we have a team drill going, we pull it to where the kids are. We don't leave it way down. We move it around so they can get it. And everybody else, everybody understands kids. It's not the 1970s anymore. They need water.
You get one drink every hour. That's it.
Yeah. So and then it also, it tells us certain days we can't put on full gear, and certain days we can't even put on helmets because it's too hot.
Wow. So, well, it's all good. And it's all the right for the.
It's 100% for the right reasons. it just needs to have a process where we can show them data saying, you put us in the wrong category that's not our baseline temperatures at that time of year.
Yeah. So, Coach, you get Coalinga.
And they're good.
What are you expecting tonight?
Very good. They've got a bunch of 3-year starters. They haven't given up a point on defense this year. The quarterback Tassie's really good. They have a really good receiver, number 1, Tashira. They have another good receiver, number 3. They have a freshman receiver, pretty good, number 16. We're expecting one of the best teams we play out here. And if you read the computer rankings, that's, they're up there with slow as one of the best teams we'll play out here.
Wow.
And so we have to play well. And we told the kids, they haven't played anybody as good as us, I don't think. And if we play well, we'll give them all they want. But we can't make the mistakes we made last week. We have to correct those mistakes and play well.
And what does that mean having Weston back tonight?
That's going to help us a lot. Because, he's an experienced player in the offensive line, and we're so young on offense that we need as much experience as we can get. And the blowers are going again. That's our weekly deal, right?
Right? Yeah. Part of the show.
Yeah. So we have to control the ball. We have to control the line of scrimmage and play well on defense tonight.
Any surprise movements this week in the offense or the defense?
No. We're starting to settle in with our guys, and like I said, getting Weston back helped. And we feel comfortable with the guys we have. We think are going to be pretty good.
Awesome, Coach.
Appreciate it, Randy.
I'm excited.
But I think I agree with
totally,
you.
100%.
That, people would watch this or tell somebody, hey, this is what's going on. We try to answer questions as much as we can with parents by email and stuff. There's nothing like trying to really understand why these things are happening.
Yeah, no, and again, it's the information to the parents. And if I was to put out a questionnaire for the parents to ask one question today as on our show, it would have probably been that. And, hey, why?
Yeah, and like I said, they start reading that thing at 2:00, and then. So,
right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck tonight, and can't wait for another fireworks show.
Thank you.
All right, Coach.
Go Eagles.
There you have it, guys. Make sure you come on tonight. JV starts at 5:30, hopefully, and varsity at least at 7:30. We will see you here.